Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, and today I'll be showing you how I designed this Gable box in Canva, as I recently designed one for my friend's daughter's birthday party, which was a Lilo and Stitch. And I thought, let me do one for the video to show you how I managed to pull that off. Although I'm not very good at designing, but it finally came out really nice. So I'll make two sizes, one which is like a treat box, and that's a smaller one, so I did that using a Cricut machine, and then the other one I cut that out manually. Alright then, so I will be using the photo paper. I got this from Home Bargains in England, which is £1.49. And koala, you can use koala as well if you're to do this project. You can get that from Amazon. I'll be using scissors, a craft knife, a ruler, a cutting machine of mat, of course, and masking tape because my mat is not that sticky, and double-sided tape. Alright then, so I'll go ahead in Canva and show you how I did this. First, I've already designed this, but then I duplicated the page just to show you how I did this from scratch. I bought the K-pop. This is the Lilo and Stitch that I made for my friend's daughter's birthday, who was turning 9. Okay, so I bought the K-pop file from Etsy. However, the seller doesn't have the file anymore, but I'm sure you can find plenty of them off Etsy. Alright, so I've got some backgrounds from the K-pop file from Etsy, and I'll be designing the Gable box using one of the backgrounds that I got. And then I'll leave this the way it is. So I'll rotate this because I want the pink to be at the top. So then I'll upload this on the Gable box to be the background. Okay, so I'm happy with that. And then I'll have to get some images. I'll use the hand tricks image from the file as well. So I'll just scroll down and find that here. Okay, so that's one I'll be using. However, I want to get rid of the hand tricks, so I'll crop that down and until I've got rid of that. This looks okay to me, and then I'll add some elements, maybe balloons, confetti, and yeah, whatever comes up from the file. Okay, so I'm just double checking with the one that I designed earlier, just to try and copy and paste some images from there. Okay, so I've got some balloons here, and then I'll go ahead and design this so you don't have to watch me. Okay, I'll go out and type out in a text box, I'll type out the wordings that I would like to use, whether happy birthday or maybe Mia turns 10, anything you want really. And I uploaded this K-pop Demon Hunters font from the file that I bought of Etsy. Yeah, so if you'd like to know, so if you see down here it says upload a font, so that's how you would be able to upload your own font in Canva that you'd like to use on your project. Okay, so I'll go ahead and design this to my liking, and then I'll show you how I managed to get everything together. Okay, now that I'm happy with the first page, I'm going to duplicate this page to design the second page, as you need 2 pages. to make the Gable box. Okay, so I'll delete what I have on this side, and then I'll replace that maybe with nutritional facts, which could have like kindness, 100%, patience. And I did get these from Creative Fabrica. I remember the first time when I was learning all these, I downloaded some files from there. So I got the barcode from yeah, Creative Fabrica, and I got this as well. So I'll just go ahead and design this as well to my liking, and then change some things around. Okay, now that I've finished designing my files, what I'm going to do is I'm going to download two files, one PNG and then the other one is going to be a PDF. Okay, now looking at the pages that I need to select page 8 and page 9, and then I'll download these as PDFs. Okay, and then I don't really need to do anything with the transparent background because I'll be printing this off and then cutting it manually. Okay, and then the next thing I'm going to do, so the PDF won't be transferred to Cricut Design Space to cut it out. So for the Cricut Design Space, I need to download this again as a PNG. Okay, so I'll go ahead and select my page, which is page 8 to 9, but then this time as a PNG for Cricut to cut these files out for me. And of course, as with a transparent background. That's if you have Canva Pro. And if you do not have Canva Pro, I'm sure you can remove the background when you're uploading the file onto the images onto Cricut Design Space. Okay, so I'll go ahead and open my Cricut Design, and then I'll create new project as a blank canvas, and then I'll go ahead and upload the images. So these will be the PNG files. Okay, so I'll first upload the page 8, the first page, which is page 8, and then put that onto Cricut Design Space. I don't need to do anything with the background because we've already downloaded this with a transparent background. Okay, then I'll go ahead as well and upload page 9 onto the Cricut Design Space. Of course, the files are going to come up as large, so that's why you get the red icon warning saying that the image is too large. But what I'll do then, I won't change this manually, so I'll just click on the red button. You see the red icons, so I'll go ahead and just click tap on them, and then I'll do this to go, sorry, I'll just do an automatic resize. So within Cricut Design Space, so I'll just click auto resize image for both of them. I'm not too worried about the low resolution because I know it comes up with the yellow icon saying the images are too low resolution, but I'm not bothered about that. At first it used to bother me, but now I've got, I don't mind it now. Just ignore it. Okay, then so I'll click make. Okay, no, I don't need to save the project for now. Okay, so I'll be cutting this on medium cardstock. To get the best print quality, you have to turn system dialog on. So if I click continue, and then it will give me send to printer. I'm using the Epson Eco Tag 2850. I'll turn the bleed off and then put the system dialog on. And then for the color sync, I'll then use generic RGB profile. This is how I managed to get this from I got this from ChatGPT because I was struggling with the print quality. And I'm using plain paper because to me that's how I get the best quality, as long as I put it on the highest quality on plain paper. Okay, and this is the printout we got. So this is for the Cricut machine to cut out, and this is going to be the size of a trade box. So this is smaller than the files, the one I will be cutting out manually, which is from the PDF print. Okay, so I'll let the Cricut machine do its job, and then I'll come back. So I'm using the photo paper premium gloss, which is from Home Bargains, and that's the £1.49. All right then, so this is the next page. The good thing with this, you don't need a cutting machine, so you can, if you have a printer at home and you're able to get some paper, you can do this manually. Yes, and this will be a bigger size as well. Of course, now follow the same steps to get the best print quality and plain paper and on the highest quality, and then we send that to print. All right, then now that I've got my printouts, this is one for the PDF, which is the bigger file, the bigger box. So I'll be using my pair of scissors and the craft knife as well. Just be careful with the craft knife because it's really, really sharp. The only thing I didn't like about this is if someone prefers the bigger box, it takes some time to cut out. And I know there's die cut machines, but I'm not sure if it cuts to this. I'm sure it does, but I don't have one because I don't really make these. This was my first time. Yeah, but if you're to do this as a business, I would suggest maybe invest in one of those. Just find out if it does cut this size as well. Yeah, so I'll go ahead and use my craft knife and scissors to cut this out and a ruler. Okay, now that's finished. I've finished cutting out and just cleaning up any little bits paper. So the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to use my scoring stylus from Cricut. Hopefully, if you do have a scoring board, I think that will be easy as well. So then I use my ruler to go over the lines. I think it's easier if I turn it the other way around, where the image is. Just to go by the lines, but then you can do it different ways. So just use your ruler and just make sure you know going through the lines or the at the back. Just make sure it's yeah. So just create some score lines just to help you fold the box accurately. You can also use, so I turned it the other way around, the front, just to go by the image and the lines, because I think that's easier. Okay, so now that I'm done with scoring the lines, I'm going to apply double-sided tape. You may use hot glue, but I find it easier to use double-sided tape. So I'll apply the double-sided tape. Just it's easy to tear it off. You can use scissors as well. Sometimes it can be sticky on the fingers. Okay, so just make sure you've got the correct size and then apply that to the edges of the box on each one of them. I think each one of them has one on the edges. So apply that and then apply it to the other box as well. Okay, now if there's any tape that has gone over, then I'll use my pair of scissors or I can use my fingers to tear that off as well. Just make sure that it's clean. Okay. Um, Okay, now what I'm going to do, I'm going to apply double-sided tape on the side of the box at the bottom for both sides. Okay, and then the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a thin long slice of the double-sided tape and then apply it on the main side but at the bottom to make sure that it's attached together with the other side. However, while I was doing this, the camera was in the wrong angle, so I'm so sorry about that. However, if you would like another video on how I attach the bottom with the double-sided tape, then please do let me know and I'll make a separate quick video to show you that. I'm not sure if you're able to see it, but I applied double-sided tape on the sides at the bottom and then on the long side as well. So when you put it together, you first put the small sides in, and then you apply the long side at the on top of it, but the one with the double-sided tape, so when you peel it off, the other side is then attached onto that side of the one that has the double-sided tape. Alright guys, so this is the final look. This is the one I cut with a Cricut machine. This is the one I cut manually. As you can see, one of them is not properly cut out. So the small one in front, that's the one with the Cricut machine. That's the treat box. And then I'll show you, that's the one that I cut manually, which is slightly bigger. I think they normally call that a lunch box. So this is the one I designed for my friend's daughter's birthday party. And I'll show you, this can hold quite a few things, and it was really heavy. So I did put some slime in there, a yo-yo, so I'm putting some of the things in here so you can see how much things can go in. And if you're to do this, I suggest try playing around with both sizes to see which one fits your prefer, which one you prefer. If you want a little bit of things, then the small one is good, but if you want to add more things, then I suggest you get the bigger one. Okay, so I put yo-yo, a tub of slime, a lollipop, a flute, a bouncy ball, a copy of the activity sheet. I didn't have crayons, but you can put crayons in, bubbles, and yeah, quite a few things, and maybe a packet of nerds, different things. There was also Oreo and chocolates, which I don't have with me right now. But yeah, that's the bigger size, and then this is the small box. I mean, you can still fit in the same things, however, you won't fit any more. So it depends on the kind of treats you're putting in the box. Yeah, so next time you want to do this, then I'd suggest play around with the sizes. So that's what I did, and I thought because of her age she might want more things, which she did, so that's why I went with the bigger size. And that took me some few good hours, to be honest, because I was doing it manually. Yeah, but it really turned out well, and it was my first project. So thank you very much for watching, and I really hope you learned something. And if you do have any questions, then please do let me know in the comment below. I'm happy to answer. And if you do still want me to show you how I did manage to do the double-sided tape on both of them, then I'm happy to show you as well. Just let me know if you require that video as well. Yeah guys, so thank you very much for watching, and I hope you have a lovely rest of the week. Thanks, bye.